Coming up in this Burbank On Demand, a look back at 2013, in which some old friends return new and improved. Centennial celebrations for not one, not two, but 3 city departments. Whether fresh or recycled, we'll scale the heights to bring you these stories, and we mean business. It's the year-end edition of Burbank On Demand, next. Hello, I'm Drew Sugars, Public Information Officer for the City of Burbank. Welcome to Burbank On Demand, a show about people and places in Burbank that you can watch anytime you want on demand. In this special year-end edition, we're going to look back at some of the stories that we brought to you in 2013. Now today we are in downtown Burbank, where this ice rink is now open for business literally every day between now and January 5th. Even if you don't skate, be sure to come by and see the area behind City Hall, where they've transformed a parking lot into a winter wonderland. And when you do visit, don't forget to check out all the stores and restaurants that we have here in Burbank. Which brings us to our first look back at a story we did in August about business in downtown Burbank. Peter Masurlian showed us how downtown merchants have come together to succeed despite a less than hospitable economy.
Drive out over there.
The Downtown Burbank Car Classic is a throwback to yesteryear, in this case the 1960s, as the original Batmobile left the Batcave for a day to display its wares for the nostalgia-seeking crowd at San Fernando Boulevard and Olive Avenue. The annual event brings thousands of people to the area for what local merchants hope will be repeat visits for food, entertainment, and shopping. Since the worst recession since the Great Depression hit 5 years ago, businesses and employees across America have held their collective breath. And now it looks like some folks are breathing a little easier. In California, the unemployment rate was 10.6% in June 2012. A year later, it was 8.5%. The last time that number was that low was when the stock market crashed in the fall of 2008. There's no doubt that for now, the stock market is at an all-time high. Corporate America is turning out record profits, unemployment is down, home sales are up, and job creation is up. And in downtown Burbank, things are looking up too, where the vacancy rate since 2009 has gone from 20% to 6%.
Retail sales are up 7% since 2009, so we've been doing our best to get those vacancies leased and get more people to come to our downtown area so we can increase our sales tax revenue for the downtown merchants and for the city of Burbank.
Mary Hamzoyan has been working the downtown beat for the city of Burbank for more than 5 years. She's seen businesses fail as others weathered the economic storm. And most recently, she's welcomed new businesses into the comeback economy.
We have a lot of new merchants that have come into the downtown area. We have Wild Carvery, we have Orachan Ramen, we have Mama Hong's, which is a Vietnamese cuisine. We have Hokkaido Seafood Buffet. One of our greatest accomplishments was getting Gap factory outlet to come to the city of Burbank, so we have a prime retail location in the heart of downtown. We have Witch Witch, and we have The Melt, which just recently opened.
2, 3.
The Melt, which is a relatively new chain that sells what it calls grilled cheese happiness, was started by Jonathan Kaplan. Kaplan created the Flip video camera, sold that business to Cisco for $500 million, then entered the world of grilled cheese.
What we've been trying to do with The Melt is bring wholesome, all-natural food to communities around the country, and we chose Burbank because we feel the family-friendly nature of the area, the new developments that are happening right here out in front of our restaurant has been really exciting. We feel like we're embracing the community.
The Melt and the overwhelming majority of businesses in the area just voted to pay for 5 more years of a so-called P-bid, a property-based business improvement district.
to have property owners saying, I'm willing to tax myself for a better downtown Burbank, really says something. And we have longtime property owners who get the value of the city of Burbank and what we're trying to accomplish in downtown and how much it's improved over the years. But there's brand new property owners as well who are excited to bring new tenants to downtown and do something really interesting and fun in downtown.
The P-bid is governed by the Downtown Burbank Partnership, a nonprofit organization comprised of property and business owners in downtown.
Businesses like Spa or Wild Carvery are willing to come in and make an investment in downtown Burbank because they have the faith that this is a good place to own and operate a business. And the support that we get from other businesses, from the city, and from the residents are all key factors in making downtown Burbank continue to be a big success.
One of the businesses Michael Cusimano just mentioned was Raw Organic Spa, which opened its doors in March 2007, about a year and a half before the economic downturn.
We've seen an increase of about anywhere from 5 to 25% per year since we started. So we're really happy about that.
With that increase, Haas says his gross receipts hit $1.5 million last year.
I think if you wow every single customer and make sure that their experience is very high, you'll do extremely well.
Haas says the location and demographics are what brought him to Burbank, and he's pleased to point out that nearly 40% of his customers are men.
We have about 4,000 square feet of really nice space, and due to the recession, a lot of people have chosen to stay here, I believe, and they do something local. So what we offer is, of course, massage, skincare, but also they can arrive certainly a little bit early, pop in our saunas, use our showers. We have 5 private showers, 3 private restrooms, beautiful eco-harvested cedar saunas, both men's and women's, really some nice spaces. We have a meditation room, we have a Japanese tea room, so we have a place where somebody could actually enjoy for 2 or 3 hours before they get back into the real world.
I just like how it's like in the middle of downtown Burbank, and it's when you walk in, it's like a little paradise in like the middle of the city.
I like this place because it's in Burbank, and I like to give Burbank my business because I like to support the city I live in. And I also like it's really easy to get an appointment here.
My husband first got me a gift card here for a birthday a couple years ago, and I've been coming ever since. I did do the membership, which is wonderful. The entire staff here is amazing. They're always super friendly, always super nice. They're all wonderful, very caring, very concerned about your needs if you have any special needs. And it's always been an amazing experience. So very happy.
Since things are going so well at the spa, we decided to open up a restaurant. The space became available. It's on the corner of Olive and San Fernando, and it's called Wild Carvery, and we specialize in organic and natural food.
This is our King Burger, and it has bacon, pastrami, beef, cheese, lettuce, tomato, and pickle, and onions. And the pastrami is nitrate-free, and the bacon is also nitrate-free.
Anything that you would find in your kitchen, using natural, preservative-free, highest quality products is really important to stay healthy, and it also tastes better.
Wild Carvery has been open for a year, and since July 2012, Haas says business has increased 100%.
I actually go to the school right down the block, so every lunch break we come to this place and we get the chicken salad, which is amazing. It's actually so big that I can't eat it all myself, so I split it with one of my classmates, and we get that basically 5 days a week.
Haas remains optimistic about both of his downtown Burbank businesses, and in the currently improving economy, he sees no sign of things letting up. Reporting from downtown Burbank, I'm Peter Masurlian with the Burbank On Demand cover story.
Again, when you visit downtown Burbank, be sure to check out the ice rink behind City Hall, which will be open every day until January 5th. Now check this out. Crews arrived in mid-November and spent the next 7 days assembling this temporary yet very unique play area for everyone to enjoy. If you want more information about the ice rink rates and hours of operation, just go to downtownburbank.org. Well, as we dive into winter, it seems a little odd to introduce this next story, which aired in the middle of summer. That is when the Verdugo Aquatic Facility reopened for the first time in 5 years. And as Colleen Duffy Felix shows us, after half a century, the Verdugo pool is better than ever.
Just in time for summer. The Verdugo Aquatic Facility is now open. If the cool blue water of the Olympic-sized pool doesn't tempt you, the mini water park definitely will.
I went down the blue one twice and I went down the green one a lot of times.
Did you go on the big slides yet?
No, I can't. I'm too little.
I think it's a really cool addition to a pool, a public pool. It just adds to the fun. So you don't have to travel far to go to a water park. It's right here, and it's the kids love it.
The activity pool features a zero-depth entry, perfect for the little ones. Water spouting play features that squirt, sprinkle, and soak. And for the thrill seekers, take a twisting, turning ride on the open air or closed tube water slides. It's been 5 years since the pool closed in 2008, but having a mini water park just a few minutes away was certainly worth the wait. When the pool originally opened in 1948, Burbank residents had to wait all year for summer to arrive so they can swim and sunbathe at the Verdugo pool. With urging from Burbank residents, a one-year pilot program was recently approved by the City Council to keep the facility open for the next 11 months. Behind the scenes, state-of-the-art equipment has been installed to filter and sterilize the water. The new system replaces 6 old sand filtration tanks with one tank that uses perlite, a non-toxic fossil powder, minimizing the need for harsh chemicals. This is not only great for the bottom line, it produces the highest quality water for swimmers, divers, and kids at play. What you will see when you arrive at the aquatic center is the new entry and locker rooms. On the pool deck, there's new shade areas and a concession stand. There are many ways you can enjoy the new facility. The popular lap swim program is one of the best ways to tone your muscles and get your cardio exercise at the same time.
Love the lap swim program.
Yeah.
I'm in my 3rd trimester right now. This is amazing. I love the facility. It's brand new. It's always clean.
Yeah. Really love getting the exercise in every day, and it's nice and convenient because we live a few blocks away, so it's great.
Kylie, kick harder.
The Learn to Swim and Safety Skills classes are available for any age and ability. From new parent and child classes to lessons for adults who want to learn the basics. Learning to swim is the best thing anyone can do to stay safe in and around water. Always ready to assist you and to make sure everyone swims, dives, and slides safely. The highly trained lifeguards keep a watchful eye on every section of the pool and activity area.
So we have lifeguards at the pool, obviously to keep everyone safe, but the big word for lifeguarding is prevention. Any unsafe activities that we can see before they even happen is the best way to go about things, and so no one gets hurt and everyone has fun at the end of the day.
Most of the day during the summer is reserved for recreational swim. Every day from 12:30 to 5 p.m., all are welcome to swim, dive, and splash in the vast, cool water. Resident fees for the pool run from $1 to $4, and the activity pool fees are $2 for 2 hours. For more information on the Verdugo Aquatic Facility, classes, programs, and pool rules, go to burbankca.gov. For Burbank On Demand, I'm Colleen Duffy Felix. See you at the pool.
The weather may be a tad cooler now, but you can still use the Verdugo pool. City Council voted to keep it open year-round on a trial basis. Go to the city's website, burbankca.gov, for the current hours of operation. Now, Verdugo wasn't the only longtime city facility that got a facelift. The Northwest Branch Library reopened after some major upgrades, and in August, we took you on a tour.
Have a great day. Do you want me to do
Joyce Rizzo has been using the city's library system since she moved to Burbank 29 years ago. Her branch of choice, Northwest.
My kids came here when they were little. I brought my kids here, and now I have the grandkids, and they come here.
I'm reading this one right now that I really look forward to read.
Northwest is one of 3 libraries in the city of Burbank's library system, which includes the Central Library near downtown, the Buena Vista branch near the Media District, and Northwest, which is, naturally, on the city's northwest side. Joyce Rizzo's family tradition of visiting the Northwest branch was put on hold about 1 year ago when the facility closed its doors to undergo seismic retrofitting.
Basically, we stripped the building down to its shell and rebuilt it.
In order to do the work, crews boxed up and moved more than 70,000 books and other items before the Public Works Department began the project. Within 1 year, the library had reinforced walls, waterproofing, new fire sprinklers, energy-efficient windows, lighting, roof, and air conditioning, and new landscaping. There also was a bonus.
Not only did we do a seismic retrofit to the building, but we also upgraded the building and its shell.
The old saying, you have to break a few eggs to make an omelet, is certainly true in this case, because even though we had the pain of being closed for several months, I think when we reopen to the public, they're going to be very pleased.
And so, in late July, Northwest reopened its doors and the public returned.
It's a great work. Thank you, City of Burbank, for doing it.
It's a complete cosmetic facelift. We worked very hard to make all the furniture and the environment warm and friendly and inviting. We have a little teen corner now for the teenagers. We added some exciting children's furniture. Everything's coordinated and the colors are calming.
This is something really fabulous in this side of the community, and it plays right into the park. And you come in here and it's new, but it's still the same library I know and love.
We have children's books, we have books for teens, we have music CDs, the latest DVDs, we have new books, newspapers, wonderful magazines. We have something for everybody. We added extra computers for the kids. They only had one public internet, now they have 6.
The fact that there's a kid's computer that they can go on themselves and look up a book and try and find it, it's great.
Federal grant money covered more than half the cost to improve the facility that is now seismically sound and in line with the Americans with Disabilities Act.
We have service desks that are ADA compliant, very accessible for people in wheelchairs. Our aisles are wide enough for anybody with a wheelchair or a walker, and our public restrooms and water fountains also are very handicap friendly and ADA compliant. We are very pleased to be able to offer this to the public.
Lots of improvements at Northwest, but one thing remains unchanged.
They're like family to me.
It has a great small town, cozy family feeling.
Everyone knows me, and whenever I come here, they say hi and everything.
The return of the Northwest Library came the same year that Burbank's Library Services marked its centennial. The library celebrated its 100-year birthday with a party like no other. The How To Festival brought out scores of people who learned about everything from using chopsticks to fixing a flat tire or even giving first aid to your dog. Burbank Water and Power also marked 100 years of service with a special open house that celebrated the city's award-winning utility. The day featured countless exhibits and demonstrations that underscore the high quality of service BWP provides Burbank residents while also delivering a safe and reliable supply of electricity and water. And this year's Fire Service Day in May doubled as a centennial celebration for the Burbank Fire Department, which also turned 100 years old. Burbank On Demand marked that occasion with this first-person account from Fire Chief Tom Linehan, who reflected on his department's rich history.
Well, the early years of firefighting in the city of Burbank was a largely rural area, lots of ranch land, and firefighting was done on a volunteer basis. And there was a bell purchased by the city of Burbank, and it was put on a hose drying tower near downtown Burbank. And when there was a fire, that bell was rung. And all the volunteers, all the homeowners that volunteered to be firefighters would come to where the bell was, and there was a hose cart. And this hose cart contained firefighting equipment of the day: hoses, ladders, axes, some length of fire hose, and they would collect that hose cart, and it could either be drawn by a horse, by an automobile, or just pulled. And off they would go and off to do their firefighting. Through the period of 1913 through about 1924, we had a part paid, part volunteer fire service. And right around the era of 1925 to 27, we became a fully paid fire department with 14 personnel. The city was able to have bond measures that gave us 3 fire stations, 2 fire engines. Now back then, this was a hose pumper that pumped 250 gallons a minute and cost about $6,500. Some of our significant fires we've experienced have been at the airport terminals that we've had in the 30s and the 50s. We also have had significant fires at the Warner Brothers Studios, and we've assisted LA City at Universal Studios on 2 different occasions in the past 25 years. We also have a very rich history in emergency medical response. And in 1974, we sent 9 firefighters to the Los Angeles County Paramedic Training Institute to become dual function paramedic firefighters. And that started our tradition of paramedic firefighting and providing paramedic advanced life support in the city of Burbank. Another milestone for us is our collaboration with the cities of Glendale and Pasadena and Verdugo Fire Communications. This started in 1979 by the 3 fire chiefs at the time, and the vision was to create a mode of dispatch and seamless emergency response where borders were not an issue and the closest resource responded to the emergency. And that's evolved now in 30 years where we've included 8 other jurisdictions within Area C, so we really have about 12 different jurisdictions that provide unified response, which is a method of seamless collaboration across borders that provide a very efficient 911 service. One significant piece of history is, in the fire service, the Medal of Valor is not given off very often. And the first time in my 26 career that I remember it being given out was to engineer Ron Perlman, who is still on the job today. He's one of our fire prevention engineers. At the time, in 1990, he was a firefighter working on Engine 13. And there was an emergency response of a man hanging out at Naomi in Station 13's district. Well, as our units arrived and Ron arrived as a firefighter, he realized that as he went into this apartment, second-story apartment, there was a distraught husband who had been in an altercation with his wife. He had taken his 4-month-old baby and went out to the balcony of this apartment and was hanging the baby over the balcony. Well, firefighter Pullman at the time, not taking into account his own personal safety, rushed through and went and grabbed the baby, basically almost diving over the balcony, at which point 2 Burbank police officers, Reeve Ricard and Bobby Schwartz, grabbed Ron so he wouldn't fall over the balcony, and thus they saved this baby's life. I've told you a few historical stories, and I certainly can't give you all of them off of my memory. But the fire department has recently launched our new website, burbankfire.us. And I encourage you to go there because we did this in conjunction with our centennial celebration. And once you click into the website and you go into the centennial section, there is a large piece of history documented and written on our history, on historical events, as well as a number of historical pictures that really tell the story of the Burbank Fire Department. And it's well worth the time spent to go in and give us a look.
As you know, firefighters and police officers risk their lives to keep all of us safe. But there's also a group of city employees who take on great risk to keep the power flowing to Burbank residents. In June, Peter Masurlian took us to the Lineman's Rodeo, where some BWP linemen continue to impress year after year.
It's a rodeo like no other you've seen. No one on a high horse, just jean-wearing participants surrounded by high voltage. In fact, there was literally electricity in the air. The Lineman's Rodeo takes place annually at the Los Angeles Department of Water and Power's training facility in Sun Valley. The LADWP and the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, IBEW Local 18, sponsored the event, which brings together scores of power utility workers for a friendly competition. Burbank Water and Power had 13 participants this year.
Yeah, it's a good time. It's fun, you know what I mean? The family's out here, and it's just a good thing, you know?
It's a lot of camaraderie with the other guys. Just talking to other linemen from different utilities is such a learning experience, too.
Safety coordinator Bruce Redmond has been with BWP for more than 3 decades. He's seen the lineman's job change over the years, but the need for safety has not.
Technology has made it easier with lighter materials and stuff, but you still have to climb that wood pole with a little steel gaff to keep yourself up. That's never going to change. Every day you got to realize the potential of danger.
There were 2 classes of competitors: apprentice, those with less than 3 years on the job, and the other class for the seasoned veteran, known in the business as a journeyman. There were such events as the Hurt Man Rescue, the suspension insulator change, the transformer change, and the dead end switch change.
The whole idea of this event was to change the switch out while maintaining continuity of service. What we did was we covered up, made everything safe, and then we jumpered the switch out, maintaining continuity, dropped the switch out. The switch hit the ground, the switch came right back up. We installed the switch, took off our jumpers, and then took off the rubber gear, and then dropped the hand line out, and that was it.
Everyone competes in the pole climb, where competitors accelerate upward with an egg in a bag. They get to the top, place the egg in their mouths, and hang the bag on a hook. Then it's back down the pole without damaging the egg.
I always break the egg. I got a little mouth. I can't keep the egg in there a lot, so what I had to do is just suck it in right in my lips. You got to keep it in your lips like a chicken lips. My worst event, climb up there nice and slow. The speed climb, we call it the slow climb, because if you go fast and you get deducts, it's all over with. So we go up there slow, stick the egg in my mouth, suck it in like I suck in chicken lips. Just come down nice and slow, and no deducts, that's all it counts. 100 points, we're done.
BWP apprentice Ryan Reed has been a winner in all 3 of his outings at the Lineman's Rodeo. This year he placed second in the conductor tie-in.
I'd say I'm pretty competitive. You know, I like to make sure I have everything in order. That way I keep my processes the same every time, so I only get faster every time. That's the biggest thing, is just staying smooth, having a good rhythm, and not making mistakes that you practice not to.
This is the BWP team of Jason Edwards, Marco Jimenez, and Edison Rosas, participating in the dead end switch. They were big winners on the day, placing first in this event, as well as garnering a first place finish in the transformer change. BWP rounded out its day with 2 third-place finishes in the apprentice events. Reporting from Sun Valley, I'm Peter Maserlian with the Burbank On Demand cover story.
While BWP, Library Services, and the Fire Department celebrated 100 years of service, a weekend tradition marked 30 years in Burbank, and we were there. If it's Saturday morning, there's a good chance you'll find Glendale resident Jim Dorsey in downtown Burbank.
If I'm not on vacation, I'm here every Saturday.
Here is the downtown farmers market behind Burbank City Hall, where cityscape and countryside merge each week. A place where those who till the soil set up shop for customers, craving a step back in time.
To me, being able to get out and walk around outdoors and shop at the same time.
Hello, sir. How you doing today?
That's one of the reasons why I keep coming back.
You're covering for Lisa.
Dorsey should know. He's been coming here for more than 15 years. If his weekly shopping trip is a tradition, then the farmers market itself is a downright institution.
The Farmers Market here in Burbank is a community event that's been going on for 30 years. We're celebrating our birthday today.
Now that's something worth dancing about. 30 years of business. Farmer Joe Bonilla has been making the drive from Fresno County since the very first day the market opened in 1983.
It was dust, a lot of dirt, real rough road.
That dusty spot is now where IKEA sits. The farmers market eventually moved to a lot at Orange Grove and North 3rd, where it stayed for several years before moving across the street to its current location behind City Hall. But if you ask Bonilla, it's not about location. It's about something else.
The people, very, very nice people. We have people that have been with me for 30 years, since I've been up here. Real good friends.
Here's somebody that knows who I am.
They're saying hi to one another, they're neighbors, they see each other on a weekly basis.
Catalina Campbell, who manages the weekly market, says the relationship between grower and consumer is further enhanced by every single farmer being certified, meaning California's Department of Agriculture has inspected the farm to ensure the produce being sold at the market is California grown.
That certification guarantees to the public that what they're buying is what the farmer is actually growing. So it creates a relationship that is based on trust and really understanding what the customer is provided with.
Perhaps that explains why many of the same people line up at this egg stand week after week.
These are the best eggs I've ever had.
I love the flowers.
I like being able to get fresh organic vegetables.
Apricots, nectarine, the fruits.
3 baskets for $5. They're very sweet.
Now, here's the kicker.
I got samples of it
The
here.
Burbank Farmers Market is also one of the only nonprofit markets in the nation. The money collected from farmers to rent their space is donated to the Providence St. Joseph Hospital Foundation.
That it's something wonderful because they do actually furnish medical help to thousands of people each year.
Generating roughly $50,000 a year for the foundation earned a special proclamation from Mayor Emily Gabaletti and the city of Burbank.
To the betterment and the health of our community.
30 years and going strong.
If you're somebody who's interested in cooking, like we are at our house, if you're somebody who's interested in seasonal food, if you're somebody who's interested in fresh, if you're somebody who's interested in organic, if you're someone who's interested in talking to the people who are growing your food, it's a no-brainer.
This community cornerstone is another example of what makes Burbank great. A reminder, the Farmers Market has temporarily moved for the holidays to make room for the rink in downtown Burbank. Farmers Market continues to operate every Saturday from 8 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. For now, it's 1 block away near the corner of East Olive Avenue and Glen Oaks in the parking lot for the City of Burbank's Community Services Building. Still to come on this special edition of Burbank On Demand, we'll tour the Recycle Center to see how they're helping the environment one bottle at a time. Also a place to appreciate art in an area of Burbank you may not expect. And a look back at some of the stories we covered in This Week in Burbank over the past year. That's when Burbank On Demand returns.
Everybody, from all of us to all of you, Happy Holidays!
The city's Recycle Center has some of the most dedicated staff you will find anywhere. In August, we took you on a tour of the facility, which helps the environment while helping you save money.
Today we're at the Burbank Recycle Center. Since 1992, this has been the site where we take all of our curbside recyclables and sort them out. Every year we go through about 8,000 to 10,000 tons of materials, and every year we change the process and those list of materials slightly. As we walk through, you'll see how some of this works. First thing you'll see when you come to the Recycle Center is a line of bins where you can drop off anything from your house or your business. Cardboard, mixed paper, newspaper, bottles with California redemption value, plastic bags, mixed plastics number 3 through 7, aluminum cans, scrap metal and tin cans. We're here at the buyback area where you can get paid for your bottles and cans. It all starts just by sorting your aluminum, your glass, your plastic, and putting them into a container that's already weighed. You take this container, bring it over to the scale, and then they weigh it up for you. And then you get paid. Walk it over to the scale, they'll check it, weigh it, and then you get a ticket. $1 million. That's it. And now to the cashier. Getting paid is quick and easy.
516 your change. Thank you.
Thank you. Things have really changed. A lot of things have been banned from the landfills, and so now we collect electronics, batteries, fluorescent bulbs, and other things with heavy metals or hazardous materials. Batteries, for instance, have a lot of heavy metals, so we collect all of these things. And people use a lot of batteries. We also collect fluorescent bulbs. And it doesn't matter what size or shape they're in, all of them have some mercury in them. And we collect a lot of fluorescent lights. This is typical of the electronics that everyone uses and gets rid of. These are old processors and computers. And electronics can include just about anything with a battery, a circuit board, or a cord, like all this stuff over here. We want to protect our waters and make sure that old motor oil doesn't go down the storm drains. So we collect about a swimming pool full here at the Recycle Center every year. All you have to do is bring it down and we can put it in our big tank for you. We also collect oil filters and antifreeze. You can bring those down as well. Here in the office, you can get a backyard composting bin. You can pick up a bucket for your filters and used motor oil. And you can get containers for your sharps, your needles and syringes. We also have a lot of information on classes, on hazardous materials, ways of saving waste for businesses, homes, all around the city. So either you can go to our website at burbankrecycle.org or just come on down. Thank you so much, and we hope to see you soon.
The Recycle Center is located on South Flower Street between West Verdugo and West Providencia Avenues. And sometimes you have to go off the well-traveled path to find something unique. And such is also the case with the Creative Arts Center, which is tucked away in George Izay Park, which in May we showed you how to enjoy.
This is Municipal Art Gallery. We have 12 shows a year. We have 4 shows that are here consistently every year. We have a Youth Art Expo show in April, which is all of the schools in Burbank. Students from kindergarten through seniors are able to participate. And Fine Arts Federation, which is an organization here in Burbank that actually supports us in many ways. They help us with purchasing certain items for the pottery studio, and we don't have the budget for something, they will come up and help us out. They're here every March. It's a membership show. The other one is Burbank Art Association, which is also here annually in November. The last one is the Holiday Boutique in December, which is a big boutique, a big to-do around here. It takes a lot of prep. We have right around 70 people showing their artwork of any sort. Everything has to be handmade. The gallery is just packed. The rest of the year, there are various selected artists. The current show that we have is Karen DiGorgio. She's an artist, she's a painter, and also does a lot of collage in combination with her painting. Acrylics usually, and collage, mixed media they call it. Her work is very interesting. It's just beautifully done. She's very, very good at what she does.
The ideas come from inside, not out. There's no imagery that I try to copy, but I will start with a couple of key elements that gives me the feeling, the mood that I'm going for, but those few elements then get developed out bigger and bigger and incorporate other things. And so it's a constant decision making, step by step, color, layer, technique, until it evolves and I stand back and I go, this is a good piece.
After her show, I have an artist. His name is Ignacio Gomez. He's coming in June 7th through the 26th. He's very well known illustrator. He also has done the Cesar Chavez Memorial in San Fernando, and I think another in Riverside. His work is really, truly amazing. So we've had, like I say, we have artists from all over come in to show in the gallery or to apply. I've never seen an artist who wasn't overly impressed, even no matter what part of town they've come from. They've just said, oh my God, I never knew this existed. Even people here in Burbank come by all the time. We always get people in, several people that say, I never knew this place existed. They're just amazed. It's like walking in the door and being in another world. Most cities don't have this. I don't know of another city that has a gallery of this magnitude. You should come to the facility or come to the opening. You will meet many interesting people. You'll get to meet the artists. If you're interested in the work itself, you'll be able to speak to someone who really knows something about the art. There will be refreshments. There will be a lot of people. There may be people that you know. You meet friends, and it's a nice outing just to have an evening out and to enjoy the arts.
Well, that's a look at just some of the stories that we brought to you in 2013. Of course, you can see all of the stories we did by going to the Burbank On Demand page on the city's website. It's burbankca.gov. We hope you enjoyed the show. We leave you now with a look back at the sights and sounds of Burbank that we covered throughout the year in our segment This Week in Burbank, which will become What's New in Burbank after the first of the year. For all of us here at the Public Information Office and the City of Burbank, have a safe and happy holiday season. We'll see you next year.